Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode, what I believe is 33 of the Yarnivore podcast. I am Sadie. I am your host, also known as Blue Rune on Ravelry, Sadie Rune on Twitter and Instagram, and of course there's the Yarnivorous group, which you can come join on Ravelry, where we have fun. And yeah. I'll warn you now, my allergies are acting up, and it's been a long week. It's been a long friggin' week, and I do briefly want to say that I don't really want to say my heart and prayers and thoughts and blah 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 to Orlando, because I don't know that that's the answer anymore. But I am definitely thinking about my friends in the LGBTQ community, and if you are a strong ally, or if you are a member of the LGBTQ community, make sure to reach out and tell them you love them right now, because there's a lot of struggle with that. And I completely understand. When people invade your space, it's hard. But when people see, and I've gone to so many clubs, such as Pulse, to dance my butt off with all my friends, that at this point, it could have been me. It could have been my friends. It could have been anyone I know. It could have been friends in Florida. It could have been my soul blood sister, whom I love. She did her thesis research down in Orlando. She could have been at that club for some reason. So it could have been my family, and that is very strong with me. And as a non-white person, the intersectionality that occurs within feminism and within race discussions, etc., it hits everyone who's different a little harder, because we have a stronger understanding of how it could have been us. Because we are not safe in public spaces. And that is a concept that not everybody understands. I don't want to dwell on it too much. 2 minutes, 3 minutes is probably more than enough, but that has affected my mood this week, and subsequently, you just have to do what is best for your mental health, and sometimes that means just stepping back, removing the chaos from your life. Okay, what do I have here? First off, I did finish the exploration station. Actually, I finished it like last weekend, so I feel like I should have shown it to you already. But I haven't, so here it is. It is not blocked yet, because I think we've addressed before, I hate blocking, and I'm lazy, and I have other things to do than block until I really want to block. And this one doesn't really need a lot of blocking. Probably only needs a light block anyway. I need to make another one, because it was so much fun. Like, look at how that turned out. I was worried the entire time about the green, and now it looks way better. And I think the brioche section, which is the green, and if you look on this side, it's the pinkish purple, really came out nicely. I was never worried about the orange. I was worried about the darkness of the green. And I really think it was a good call. It was a good call in the end. So, the specs on this, I believe I used a 4mm needle, which is what, a US 6, because a 4.5 is 7. And for colors, the orange is the Cozy Makes Snapdragon Light Fingering in an orange color. I don't remember what it was called. I didn't put it in my thing. I still have a little bit left. The green is Nitpick's Essential Fingering in the Pine colorway. This first purpley color with the pink in it is True Love. It is either an 80/20 or a pure by Volmaiza. And the other purple this purple. This lighter purple is Sheep Dreamery's Allure Base in the Eleanor colorway. And I ended up with a good portion of this left and a good portion of the orange left. I have but a wee ball of Eleanor and the pine left. They will go into my square blanket, and that will probably be the death of them. For the other two, I don't know. I'll probably, for the Volmeiser, I will make minis out of it, but for the orange, I don't think so, because it's a very frail yarn, fragile. It snaps easy, and I have no problem dealing with that, but I would never send that to someone, because that's just how I roll. What is up, P? I just fed you wet food and changed your water. You are a happy P. She forgets she's a happy P. She might be getting the Alzheimer's too. It's altogether possible. Because hey, if you're gonna have geriatric pets, have them all. So in my Star Wars bag with my R2-D2, whom I love, R2-D2 and BB-8. This accidentally fell into my coffee earlier. I've also got really bad hair. Can you tell I wetted it down right before I started recording? Oh, the love. I've bought hair dye. It's going to change before SSK, but that's a whole other ball of wax. I actually bought hair dye a while ago. I'm just being lazy right now. So, these are the hubby socks. They are the bootstrap socks by... Oh, it's the sock architecture book. Laura Neal. It's by Laura Neal. It's the sock architecture book. Here is how they are doing so far. I'm at the point where I'm going to start putting in the heel. I don't make his legs particularly long just because he has big feet. I am doing this on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. This cozy is from Little Skein in the Big... No. Studio in the Green, that's it. And the yarn, which you can tell the subtle striping really well on the camera. The yarn is King Cole Zigzag, 4-ply, suitable for socks. 100 grams, 460 yards, 7525 superwash merino nylon. Picked it up in Regina. I'm enjoying it. It's a bit of a rougher feel. I would put it on, it's not like, oh my god, don't put that next to my skin, but it's more like an opal or a Croy than it is a hand dye, but whatever. My husband's gonna love them. Because he likes wearing hand-knitted socks. Here's what it looks like in the ball. Cute. And this is pair 12 of the 16 pairs in 2016. Meow. She is having a moment. And I am having coffee. Because otherwise, there would be a total... You'd have a zombie in front of you. I'd just be a zombie. I wouldn't even exist anymore. The other thing that I've been working on is the Ancient Bark. It is an Ilga Leha design. I have the hard copy. My mom picked it up for me out of... She got it in River City Yarns. And I've been working on it for a while, and then it's been languishing for a while. It is in my Schnuffeltier bag of Great Awesometude. And Tracy, who is the passionate spinner who made the bag, lovely bag, she is also selling her bags now on Etsy, so you should go buy some because they're awesome. There's one I wanted, but someone bought it before me, so. Like that face? But you should go check them out because they are very well made and very pretty. So I actually got a fair bit of work on this done. You can see the little hanging deedly-doo. That is where I was last time you saw it. I am on repeat 7, and you're supposed to have 13, so this is probably the halfway point. Where I horribly get everything turned around. This is probably the halfway point, because you're supposed to have 13 repeats, I believe. And then, you make it all pretty, stretch it out. I haven't decided what the coordinating I-cord around the outsides is going to be. I am getting low, very low on the first skein, so that's nice. I would like to start the second skein. Maybe tonight, I don't know. Going out for supper with some co-workers of my husband. I don't know how that's going to go, but I know the place we're eating has really yummy fish, so I'm working on that. I'm really feeling the need to finish something because I want to cast on all the things, but wanting to cast on all the things is mitigated by wanting to finish just one thing. Like, there's so many things I want to cast on. It's not even funny. I may have dyed myself yarn to do the winter wheat. Yeah, no, can't start it. I have to finish something. So the most likely is going to be the ancient bark or the socks for hubby, because those are the closest to being finished. However, I don't know. I'm flip-flopping all over the place like a fish out of water. So, lastly, in my Mina Makes bag, I have my Dirty Martini, which you have been seeing for quite some time now. Well, the yarn anyway. Maybe not the project. So here it is now. Whee! Yeah, I know. It's getting long. You're supposed to do, I believe it's 19 inches from your armhole, and then you do the edging, and then you bind off, and then you do other things. Well, I am so close. I have finished all the stuff, and then I did the 19. I'm working towards the 19. There's a pattern in here, which I did do without alternating colors, so it doesn't make any sense. Like, you can look at it, and it's like, yeah, no, you kind of did something there. I can't really tell, because I didn't want to use a contrasting color because I have so much of this stuff that I was just like, whatever. And the arms are going to be the exact same. So I'm giving up on doing any of the patterning on the arms. I'm just going to do a solid knit arm because I'm still on my first ball. Although, to be fair, this one was the massive one. There was a full 8 ounces on it. The other 3 are probably like 4 or 2. They're not as huge. And I still have the really big, just gonna keep doing this, like it's a collar. It's a button band collar. It's a thing that goes around you and goes down the front. Let's just call it a collar. And then I've got the sleeves. So I'm getting really close to having this done, but it's still got a fair bit to go. However, I do love the way it looks. It's kind of insane, which works for me, because I am totally insane, actually. So that got a fair bit of work, because I know I knit a good 5 or so inches on it. Like, I knit a lot on that. It was a lot of knitting, but only on very specific things, because of course I want to finish stuff. So my husband's mug, you can tell my husband's mugs because they're all goofy, because that is who he is. He is goofy. That is his Disney guy. And moving into other things, the miscellaneous. I got this in the mail. I did a swap with Yarn Friendly, who is from my home province. She has an Etsy store called Yarn Friendly, and she was having problems finding minis, because the 2 stores that would be close to her, the ones in my home city of Regina, and Hip to Knit, I could definitely see not having a clue, which is actually what we discussed, that they didn't have a clue. was like, yeah, I know. But he's a sweetie. The husband runs the show, even though the wife's the knitter, so it's very entertaining, to say the least. And then there's the Golden Willow, and they're, how would you put it? I don't think they would even understand the concept of a mini skein. They're the older ladies of knitting. Although if you need spinning stuff, the Golden Willow is the only place you can get it. So it's a very odd distinction. But either way, I can see how she wouldn't have minis. So I sent her a bunch of minis, and in exchange, she sent me this. And chocolate bar, which by the way has been eaten. Here, let me hold it closer so you can see. That's right, it's Pokemons. Pokemons. My little Bulber. I love Bulber. Bulbasaur. I'm a Bulbasaur kind of gal. I called him Bulber. I'm very into Bulbasaur, although Eevee is adorable too. I'm not hardcore into Pikachu. But, see, I need to cast something on to go in this bag. It's a great bag. It's a nice size. Probably be a good shawl bag. Or a sock bag. Shawl or sock? Anywho, her name is Yarn Friendly. She's out of Canada, so if you're Canadian, that's probably works out for you for shipping. I don't know. If you're a U.S. citizen, or if you're a U.S. citizen, if you're in the U.S., then, you know, the Canadian dollar's in the crapper. You could probably buy one for pretty cheap, even if the shipping is a little higher. Just saying. Now, how am I going to do that? I don't want to bend over, but I have to reach some stuff. Someone asked me what the white thing next to my spinning wheel is. That's a lamp. Okay. Now, if you get bored by the shop update stuff, then this is where you say goodbye, and I don't mind. I really don't. Have a great week. I will see you next week, hopefully with something finished, so I can cast on the million other things I want to cast on, like the new Stephen West that just dropped today, that I may have bought the whole book. Okay. But, so if you don't like the shop updates, then bye-bye. Stay safe this weekend. If you do like shop updates, I will show you what is going in the shop today. After I'm done recording the podcast, I'll be putting them up in preview, and then I'll put them live. This one, that's pretty true to color actually, right here. I'm just going to hold it here. This one's called Old Leaves. I'll bring it up. Yeah, it's okay. It's a little darker than that. It does get really bright up close, but this one's called Old Leaves. And it's on the baddie base. Then we have Confetti, which is a heavily speckled yarn. Then we have this one. I rescanned one, and then I left one in the as itself. Back here is probably truer. This one is called Forest Spirit. It's a lot darker than that in real life, but so be it. We have a semi-solid red. It's called Little Red. It'll be going in. We, of course, have more Enchanté. This is the rescanned one, which I have two of, and then this is the non-rescanned one. They're on different bases, however, but so those are all going in the shop, like I said, after I finished recording the podcasts. I'll get them all up for you. That's what's going in this week. I've got a couple that are drying still. They'll be in next week. I also have new flosses, which will also be in the shop. And it is these. A new set of 4. No, a new set of 5, sorry. And they are gorgeous. I'm excited. I've already planned something I want to do to use them. And that's everything I've been up to this week. Like I said, it's been a long week. It's been a very challenging week mentally, so there's been a lot of just taking time to regroup and get stuff done around the house. But that's it for this week. I will see everybody next week. Happy knitting.